365 cut. These are the meaningless ramblings of a Scottish redone whore and a pissy ex-video store clerk. Their ongoing mission is to set right the movie wrongs. They're gonna need a bigger podcast.
Hello everybody and welcome to episode 70 of the 365 Flicks podcast. My name is Kevin.
And I am Chris.
And we're back.
We are back.
Number 70.
Yeah, now search your brains.
Right.
Did you get up to anything last weekend?
For you know it to be true. Search your brains. Flat on its face.
Didn't it? I was
What are we doing? This is going to be an indie talk episode, but it's an indie talk episode with a little bit of a difference, because if you listen to episodes 69, 68 and 67, you will know that we were heading to a convention / rave of sorts. We went to Sci-Fi Weekender number 8 and had a fucking class weekend.
We did. Yes. That's where I was going, but you fucked it up.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. It's what I do.
Stupid idiot.
It is pretty much what I do.
Anyway, so yeah,
man.
Sci-Fi Weekender 8.
Down in Wales.
Have you woken up yet?
And did you see them? It didn't work.
No.
Yeah,
man.
Man.
Did you stop it?
Yeah, so we went down to Llywelyn in Wales to a Halfany Moor?
I'm not even going to try.
Halfany Moor.
Haven.
Haven. It was on a Haven holiday centre. That was terrible as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this hasn't started well. So yeah, we went to Halfany Moor Haven Holiday Park to Sci-Fi Weekender number 8, which was such a great time.
It was a cracking weekend.
And yes, I am awake. And the alcohol has left my system, thank God.
Well, I'm having a beer right now, so it's not left mine.
Is that just you topping up, or...?
No.
Because we did pretty much El Pivo all day.
I don't talk like that.
I'm sorry.
We did, though. Yeah, it was good.
So last Thursday, we hopped in the car, Thursday morning, hopped in the car for a short trip down to Wales, 6 hours in the car. We made good time, though, I thought. We did quite well.
Yeah, it felt a lot shorter on the way down than the way back up.
Yeah, but that's because we did like a 2-hour trip around Wales before we left for some reason. Not through our choice.
No.
That was the sat-nav being a bastard.
Yeah.
It was like, right, before these lads leave Middle-earth, they're going for a little cheeky jaunt. So we drove around Wales for a good hour and 45, I'd say. Maybe 2 hours.
It felt like about 6.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it got us home for more or less when it said.
Yeah, more or less when it said, yeah.
If it wasn't for some clumsy bastard on the M6 having an accident.
Yeah, sideswiping someone. I mean, closing 3 lanes of traffic for that was ridiculous.
Dumbasses.
It was ridiculous. But yeah, that was the journey home. We're talking about the journey there and the journey that we had while at the convention / rave / Sci-Fi Weekender.
Breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
How did you get on? What did you see? What did you say? What did you love? What did you not love?
Wow, that's a lot of questions.
It was. Answer them all now.
Jesus. Well, I didn't see Spider-Man.
You didn't see Spider-Man.
Which was upsetting to me.
I only saw one Spider-Man. But that was like, considering it was a convention.
Wasn't he a bit of a steampunky Spider-Man?
He was a little bit.
Yeah, upsets me. I can't have that.
Yeah, you don't like the steampunk, do you?
No, I don't really get it.
You even asked me at one point during that whole weekend, what is it with steampunk?
What's up with that?
I like a bit of steampunk.
I just don't get. I've got nothing against people who like steampunk.
Yeah.
You know, I don't call them hippies like I do with other people.
Yeah.
But I don't really understand. I don't get it.
It's just nuts and bolts fashion kind of thing. It's like
I
wouldn't say I love it, but I do like it.
But not a steampunk Spider-Man. No, you don't do that. You don't. So I didn't see Spider-Man, which was I was looking forward to getting my photo taken with Spider-Man, but I got my photo taken with the Joker.
You did,
which was cute.
Big shout out to Adam Colclough.
Yeah.
Yep, he is. He goes around these sort of convention things doing Joker, and he was fantastic.
He was awesome. He was. Yeah, he was hosting a bunch of stuff as well.
Hosting duties.
Great host, cracking host.
It was totally cool with you just going up and asking for a picture. I mean, I saw him just getting selfies with absolutely everybody. So cool.
He would say me, fuck that guy.
Cool dude.
He's got a Spider-Man tattoo. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Wrong universe, dickhead.
He's like, no Marvel round here, I don't mind telling you. So we will get to that in a little quick second, but let's just talk about where they can find us, how they can get 365 Flicks Podcast, and what we've got coming up in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can find us on the Facebook and the Twitter. Just type in 365 Flicks Pod or 365 Flicks Podcast, depending on the social media you're on. You will find us. We are always there. And you can also find us on some fantastic super duper networks that we're on. We're on the Tangent Bound. We're on the Wicked Radio. We are on nerdly.co.uk. A whole host of others. I'm not going to go through them all. Weeby Geeks. And what was the last one? There's usually another one.
Pod and Family.
Pod and Family, hashtag Pod and Family on the Twitter. Those guys are all awesome. You can find us there as well.
You should let me do it.
iTunes, Stitcher, Satchel, Libsyn, any third party podcasting app. Although Scarlett does seem to think you won't find us on a third party podcasting app. I think she thinks we're shit.
No, we're not shit. We're awesome.
So yeah, this is pretty much the rundown show for Sci-Fi Weekender that we've just been to. We're going to tell you about some of the things we did, but we also, probably one of the big reasons that we went, we also got to see an awesome movie.
You bet your ass we did.
So we will be doing a cheeky little dancing around the subject spoiler-free review because it's not coming out till later in the year.
I think if we gave spoilers, there'd be people at the door with guns and stuff.
Yeah, we did have to hand our phones over and everything before we walked in.
Well, you didn't.
And on the way out, we was getting anal probed and stuff like that. And they used the Men in Black
part of it.
mindy wipe thing. Yep, they did all that. We also managed to bag ourselves a little cheeky interview with the director and the star of the movie, so we'll be playing that a little bit later. And yeah, it was
a good crack.
Yeah, man, it was. I was looking forward to meeting Tom Paton, the director. I was really just looking forward to meeting him because we've had him on the show before to talk about Pandorica. I loved Pandorica. Knew kind of straight away when we went to see Redwood. I knew I was going to enjoy it because, and I just couldn't wait to actually sit down with Tom and have a bit crack, and we got to do it. And he brought along his good pal Mike Beckingham.
Yes, he did.
Who's in the movie.
Who's just an absolute gent.
And also publicist Nick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who was shutting that shit down no end. He was like, I will shut that shit down, no exceptions. But yeah, that was a cracking little chat that we had. So we'll play that a little bit later. I'm not a mind reader, so I don't know how far ahead. You'll have to skip if you just want to listen to that. But first of all,
12 minutes.
That's 12 minutes. Is that you just cut off point? Okay, if you go to the 12-minute mark, that is when you'll get the interview. Okay? Nice.
Done. Job's good.
So, Sci-Fi Weekender, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Got there on the Thursday. Pretty much went straight to the bar.
Yeah, it'd been a long drive.
Yeah, it had been. I think a few post-drive celebratory drinks were in order.
It was more just, I want a pint.
Yeah, it was very much. We got there, and I just want to say massive thank you to Claire Lloyd, who was
Claire was very, very helpful.
The press lady who was there. She was absolutely brilliant. Had things set up for us before we'd even got there, which was great. Really just had the phone signal and the Wi-Fi not screwed us over.
I know.
On a couple of occasions, it would have been awesome. But Claire was fantastic, and she never sat down. The entire time, every time I saw her, she'd run about like a bloody headless chicken.
I did kind of think I want to buy. I hope she's got one of those Fitbit things on.
Yeah.
That'll be blowing up.
Yeah, definitely. So just big thank you to Claire for setting things up and just basically making us feel at home. She was cool.
I think everybody who went there felt at home.
Yeah.
Because it was such an amazing atmosphere.
It was.
And everybody was so friendly. Not just the staff at the place, but, we mentioned Adam.
Yeah.
Obviously Tom and Mike.
Yeah.
It's like just everybody that you passed as you were walking, mostly towards the pub. Everybody that you passed, everybody was just, not looking at the ground, looking at each other and smiling at each other.
No, there was none of that.
It was just an amazing atmosphere.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
So that night, on the Thursday night, we met a fellow tangent-bound podcaster.
Yes, we did, Ian. That was a good crack.
It was good crack.
I went all Doctor Who.
Yeah, you got to talk Doctor Who at length.
I geeked the fuck out with Ian.
I totally just turned my back to you, and I talked to Mark Caldroy, who was there. He was doing his brand is called Salvaged, and they do props and stuff like that for movies and TV shows. And he was actually doing a talk, and bless him, him. He got through that talk. Me personally. He had a few technical difficulties.
It was goddamn Windows again.
It was Windows. Windows just being a prick. But if you're running Windows 6, that's what's going to happen. But he got through that talk. Me, I would have walked off after the second time.
I think I very much would have been a case of, fuck this shit.
Yeah, but the man done really well. He was really interesting. I have a feeling he had some way more interesting things to say as well.
He had a lot more to say,
because you just had to rush through it.
He was told he had like 3 minutes left or something like that. What was very, very interesting for me was the fact that he designed a dragon in Nightmare.
Yeah, you loved that, didn't you?
Yeah.
You were like, oh my god, I want that drawing.
I mean, I was addicted to that show when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I very much want to speak to him again.
Definitely, we'll sort that out. But yeah, we went for a few drinks with Ian and Mark, and we had a good little time to ourselves that first night. Went over to the main void, and who did we bump into? Because I know you're dying to talk about this.
So yeah, we bumped into Tom and Mike, and also a good guy called Ed Fortune.
Mm-hmm.
Who I was having a good crack, and I was actually speaking to him for a little while, and you were having a bit chat with what was the guy's name again? I'm sorry,
Craig Hindley.
Yeah, and then so Tom came over,
and
Tom said to me, "Chris, you're the Buffy fan, right?"
Yep.
And so come here with me.
Come here with me.
Yeah, that was pretty much that was it. It was like, come here. And so I got to meet Nicholas Brendan.
Yeah, you
AKA
did.
Xander from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yeah.
I have never seen you so fucking happy in your life. That was like, you came back like the cat who'd got the cream. You couldn't stop smiling. And all I heard for the next two or 3 days was, I met Nicholas Brendan, Kev.
Yeah, pretty much right. Although, Kev, I have got no fucking idea still what I said to him.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And I wasn't that drunk. Like,
There's not a thing wrong with that.
It wasn't like, we hadn't had that much, not really.
No.
So I wasn't drunk, I've just got fucking no clue what I said to him.
I think you just kind of went, But yeah, man, I mean, that was awesome for you. That was absolutely brilliant.
And Tom knew what he'd done.
Of course he did, because he kept giving you the wink and the gun.
He kept on like nodding over to me because he saw me standing there like a fucking nerd. Afterwards, I think you and Craig were trying to you and Craig were having a good crack, and you told me what you were cracking about later on, which was fucking awesome. But you kind of kept on trying to engage me, and it just wasn't happening.
No. And you could just see Tom kind of stand there going, "Yeah, I made that happen."
But yeah, thank you, Tom, for that.
That was
if
cool.
You're listening, I hope you are. Thank you very much for that. I did buy him a pint.
You did. That was cool. That was cool. The Friday we got to do some pretty cool interviews with some Doctor Who people, which again you got to geek out on Doctor Who. Mm-hmm. Funnily enough, probably the only two podcasters to interview people from Doctor Who and not really talk about Doctor Who.
Yeah. Yeah. We did a little bit. Kind of.
Not a great deal though.
Not really. Well, you see, the thing is, I don't know those iterations of Doctor Who's as well as the most recent stuff. I didn't really watch it when I was a kid. I'm aware of who they are, of who the guys are, but so I'm aware of who they are, but not enough to like geek out as I was with Ian on the Thursday night.
But we got Peter Purvis from Doctor Who fame and Blue Peter fame. Turns out he's from the area. Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
That was actually a really interesting talk.
It was a great interview.
And I think that's the one where we did mention Doctor Who, but more like the filming of Doctor Who.
Yeah, because we're not really... Yeah, we were...
But that was actually a very interesting talk that that was interesting stuff that he was going on about. And that won't be on this one, but we will be doing a part 2.
Yeah, we will do
very,
part
very
2.
soon.
So full disclosure, part 2 is
this
coming.
Is just part 1, because the interview with Tom and Mike is fairly long.
Yeah.
But so there will be part 2 coming very, very soon. And Peter Purvis et al. will be on that one.
Yeah, and Fraser Hines and Yi So.
Yes.
So they will all be on there on that episode, and we'll probably talk about this a little bit more. But yes, that was cool as balls. That was Friday. We're pretty much just kind of running around doing interviews all day and just between pints, obviously, and catching the sights and seeing what we could see. And then on the Saturday, let's talk Redwood.
Yeah.
The main basis of this episode. Do you want to do a little cheeky rundown of it and then play the interview, or?
Yeah, well, we'll do that. Obviously, we'll keep it completely spoiler free because we want people when this becomes available. It's going to be later on in 2017. Mm-hmm. When this becomes available, you guys listening, you need to see this movie.
This is a must. This is a very, very strong 365 recommend. You need to be watching this film.
Yeah, definitely.
Not just because the guys are on the show, because when you listen to the interview, it will sound like we had our noses clear up their asses, but we did genuinely really enjoy this film, so we just felt like telling the guys.
Yep.
But this film is a definite must-watch. It doesn't come much better than this when it comes to the indie sort of independent scene, which we're really big on.
There's nothing wrong with telling people that they've done good work.
No, they did great work, and considering this is Tom's second directorial movie, and this is Mike's, which I don't think it's his first movie that's kind of been shown, isn't it? He said during the interview
it's his first proper premiere of a movie.
Yeah, but he's when you go on his IMDb, he's got like another 12, 15.
He's a busy man.
He's a very busy man. But yeah, so Redwood.
Yeah, so we got there nice and early. We went for a cheeky coffee, and then
thank God we did.
Yeah, no. Next thing we know, there's a massive fuck off queue waiting to get in. So thankfully we timed it right.
Yeah,
we came out of Starbucks just at the right time because honestly I don't know if we would have gotten a seat if we were right at the back of the queue.
We would have got a seat, but would have been at the bar.
Yeah, which maybe wouldn't be a good thing at all. No, I wanted to see what the hell was going on.
Yeah, of course, man. We got really good seats down right in the front, and we got to see everything. So we saw everything.
We've already seen everything. Yeah.
I realised what I did there as soon as I did it. But yeah, we got there.
Brendan tried to cover it up, but you'd already seen everything.
It was fantastic, man. The queue was halfway around the holiday park,
which was amazing to see.
We were really buzzing about that. I did a cheeky little Facebook Live, and by the way, Facebook Live and Facebook in general, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to do videos and that, trying to put things out there for people to watch, just because I had somebody else's music in it.
That happened a few times to me as well.
What's a load of pish?
I can't remember which one it was that I was... Oh, it was the Nicholas Brendan talk.
Yeah.
And they did a sing-along of Once More With Feeling.
Yeah, that was badass.
And I videoed it to send to my sister because she's a massive Buffy fan as well. So I videoed it. And I thought, I'll put it on the 365 page.
Yeah.
And no, I got a message back saying it's in violation of copyright because of the
Unbelievable.
song. Arseholes.
Unbelievable.
But anyway, let's stay positive.
So
that we'll talk about the movie. The movie is tense as hell.
Yeah, very.
The movie, well, I mean, it's not a secret, it's not a spoiler, the movie is about vampires.
Yeah.
And so it's your sort of standard horror couple in the woods, vampires.
Yep.
Nicholas Brendan's in there,
which you're just so pleased about.
Oh yeah, and by the way, did I mention I got to meet Nicholas Brendan?
Yeah, I heard. Yes, somebody said it on Facebook or something.
Somebody mentioned it.
Yeah, somebody did mention.
Was it him?
No, it wasn't him.
Shame. Yeah, but the movie is tense as hell.
Yeah, it was great. Nice little build up.
If anybody is a fan of your sort of your horror, there's something over there in the dark type thing, which I think most people are.
Yeah.
This movie does that so fucking well.
Yeah, and it doesn't it doesn't go straight in and just start throwing things at you. It does take its time. A little bit longer than most of those films would, but you needed that because it does build it up. And the story that goes along with it with the couple, which is Mike Beckingham and Tatiana. Just you need all of that.
Well, it does a nice sort of slow build. I thought, building up the characters, which you don't see in probably I would say 90% of those types of horror movies. You don't see that, because they just go, scares, death, blood, shit, and stuff.
And they go, here's a young lad and a nice young lass, and they're going to get down to some business in the tent later on. That's normally what those movies are. This isn't that movie.
It's not. Not at all. Not
so you could say this ain't your granddaddy's horror.
You could well say that.
We won't.
That's a We Hate Movies joke, just in case anybody's wondering what the fuck Kevin's going on about. Yeah, so you get a nice slow building up the characters, the two main characters, Mike and Tatiana, as Kev just said, and and then we get into some proper good horror.
It just goes,
and that's all we're going to say.
Yeah, there's not really anything else you can say about the movie. I don't really want to say anything else. Just let's talk about some performances. I thought Mike. You'll hear us telling him during the interview, Mike is phenomenal in this movie. He's such a good little actor. I cannot wait to see this guy do more, and he's gonna do a hell of a lot more.
Oh yeah,
he's got a very, very bright future ahead of him. Tom on directing again. I loved Pandorica. It came to us in when people send out screeners and all that. It came to us that way. And that's how the interview came to us, because I reviewed Pandorica after loving it. I loved the whole mishmash of genres and throwing things in there. The sort of 80s callback synth kind of Stranger Things sort of soundtrack and everything. I loved everything about Pandorica. It was a nice little melting pot of just great independent filmness. So coming into Redwood, and I say it during the interview, the growth between the two movies that he's had is phenomenal. Like, as he says, it was Pandorica's what he could be capable of, and Redwood is like what he's gonna be capable of, and just in spades. Tatiana, fantastic in the female lead. And I know you just want to talk about Nicholas Brendan, so.
Well, yeah, I don't want to give anything away. So we'll just say, it's Nicholas Brendan. He plays a park ranger in the movie, which you can see from the trailer, which has been on the 365 Facebook page.
Yep.
You can also follow the Redwood movie. Yep. Redwood Official, or is it Redwood Movie Official?
Redwood Movie Official.
Okay, go and follow that. Have a look. Just type in Redwood. Follow that, and you'll get updates either on there or on our page of when the movie's actually going to be coming out. But yeah, so Xander, I apologise, Nicholas Brendan plays. Fuck off. Tom will have done that as well.
He does kind of play Xander a little bit.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to think about what Xander's doing now, it's kind of.
Somebody did say during the Q&A, is it basically just what Xander would have been doing now?
Aye. Yeah. And I feel like it's sort of like it's like the Frog Brothers and Lost Boys. What would they be doing now, kind of thing? And I know they kind of made sequels and that. It's like, what would Xander be doing now? It's exactly what he'd be doing. He'd be hunting vampires.
But he's great in the movie. But we're not going to say anything else.
No. So what we'll do is we'll just play the interview now. Let you listen to us. Just basically suck these two guys off.
That's fine.
For a good 30-40 minutes, because you know what it is, they were having such a busy weekend with the premiere of this movie, and they took the time and they were gracious enough to sit down with us and just talk to us about the movie. So yeah. And there's some nice couple of little juicy exclusives in there.
Yes, one in particular from Tom, which you will hear in a minute.
And we'll be back to talk a little bit more afterwards.
So who are you?
I'm Vincent. You must be Josh.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend was just telling me about your little camping trip.
Vincent's a ranger.
Yeah, don't look a ranger.
I'm a special kind of ranger, Josh.
What kind of ranger?
Animal control.
Redwood ain't like camping in your backyard.
I thought you said this leveled out.
It does.
Goddamn vampires.
What's that smell?
You're standing in there. What are you doing with these?
see that?
Yeah. It's cool. It's daytime. You'll be fine.
And you know this how?
Buffy.
Yeah.
It's like Bryan Cranston in
Mate, I
Godzilla.
couldn't believe it when the fucking asteroid hit the forest. That was crazy.
After 2 minutes in the film.
And when Buffy turned up,
No.
When the hellmouth opened.
Then Godzilla rocked up. And then...
But congratulations, Tom.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate
It was
it.
damn good.
Buddy.
Yeah, it was a bit of a weird experience today. Obviously, there's a lot of people in that room, and you know, we did it once before with Pandorica, but there wasn't that many. I think we spoke to a guy earlier, and he was saying, you know, he felt that Pandorica for this festival was like a sleeper hit last year. You know, I don't think it's true. Like, a lot of people weren't really aware of it and didn't know what to expect, and so yeah, we had a decent crowd and whatnot, but the queue for today was, I mean, insane.
Yeah, Kev did a Facebook Live on it, and we were looking as the queue was starting to move. Thankfully, we were in the middle of the queue.
Because we kept saying, well, we go out now. It's like, no, it's too early. And then when we went out, I was like, oh shit, we should have came out earlier.
Well, do you know what? It was super weird. I mean, I got there at like 5 to 9 to start, like making sure the file was okay, and there was people hanging outside the front. I was like, 5 to 9? Wow, okay.
Yeah, man.
Like Tom knows, like that was my main, and Nick knows the main kind of was my concern for me was that because it was a labour of love. This film, we you know, Tom had written the script so quickly, and you're probably asking about that, and I won't go into it, but we went over to Poland. We were in lovely locations, and it was great to shoot there. But there was a lot of hard work put into this film, a lot of love, a lot of hurdles overcame. You know, we were tested. So my main concern, because I hadn't done Sci-Fi Weekender before, was that, you know, will anybody turn up? Because a convention, a Comic-Con, at Sci-Fi Week, they buy tickets for the day. They don't buy it specifically for an event. But so I was like, you know, I was always worried that, you know, will this hard work be rewarded? Will it pay off? Because ultimately, the most important thing is the audience, you know?
Yeah. And
we need to land with the audience. We need to land with an audience at a Sci-Fi Weekender because it's the genre that you know and you love.
Diehards, isn't it?
And, you know, Tom said, you know, Pandorica was very well received last week. Just relax, we'll have faith, and they will turn up. And then, like Tom said, you know, we got there quite early today because we had to do some technical stuff. Well, Tom had to do some technical stuff.
Don't credit yourself for the technical.
And there were, like Tom said, there were people starting to queue at like an hour before it even opened. Let alone the showing was due at 10, and people were queuing at 9, and I was kind of blown away by this. I was like, wow. And,
it was such a big crowd. I mean, I was saying just like, I found myself like, okay, I'm gonna pick one person and I'll focus on them and I'll use that person as my gauge point. There's so many people, you couldn't really get away from them. There was a guy sitting not too far away from me, all dressed in blue, and yeah, and I just like, right, I'll watch him, and he kept turning to his friend, and his just randomly, I'd pick the most over the top person in the thing, who was just like, no, you know, and he'd be like when they were going places that you shouldn't go in a horror film, he's like, why are you doing that? And I was like, okay, this is kind of funny. And afterwards, when we were doing the signings, obviously this guy's never seen the fact that the director's been watching him the whole time. And you know, at the signings, he just wandered up on his own, and he was like, "Oh, I just wanted to come over to how much you love the film." And I was like, I'm going to be honest with you, I watched you the whole film. And it was this weird moment where he kind of quiet. I was like, it's creepy, right? But I needed to look at someone, and he was like, yeah. So it was just weird. It's weird when you watch a film with such a large audience, because, you know, like, you can get that domino effect. If there's a section of the front row that hates it, and it suddenly spreads like an infection, that they're not having a good time. And that never happened today, you know, and I didn't see people getting out and leaving, and then, they all stuck through the Q&A, and I mean, you can't ask for more, really.
No,
so,
I think like that was it for me. You know, it was great to be, and it was a huge privilege to be in the room with you Sci-Fi Weekenders, to watch the movie on a big screen with people, like I say, who love the genre. But I couldn't help thinking, okay, what are they thinking? What are they doing? And I had ants in my pants. I was walking back. I was going outside. I was, and I was like, I couldn't settle. You know, the guys were really lovely to me. They were like, do you want a drink? I was like, no, I don't know what I want to do, because what matters is how this is landing. You know.
What I want to know? What do you guys actually think? I mean, you never saw the film until today, right? So
I mean, absolutely loved it.
I couldn't wait.
Awkward question. It's like, just say you like it.
No, you know what? Same as Pandorica, it looked beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful.
Obviously, was it done by drone or?
Yeah, a lot of drone work.
The scope and shots were absolutely fantastic.
You know, we tried to do from a drone perspective this time. Like, you know, in Pandorica there's a lot of drone work, but it never really interacted with the cast, you know.
Yeah.
And one of the things I really tried to do this time around to sort of step that up was make sure that the drone was interacting with the actors. So it was, in a lot of the scenes, it's happening conjunctively. So, you know, the drone is following Josh and Beth, you know, it's looking down on them when they meet, you know, Steve the Ranger early on in the film. And, you know, it was very much part of the movie this time. So I tried to, like, evolve that and push it a little bit. So I'm glad you noticed. Otherwise that would have been a waste of time, right?
Personally, for me, between Pandorica and Redwood, your maturity as a director, Christ, you've come a hell of a long way. Just from one film, you know what I mean?
That's a compliment all over the board.
That's all you can ask for, right?
Like, because Pandorica looked great. We said that on the last time we spoke, how beautiful Pandorica looked, but this looked insanely good.
Thank you. I think as a writer, I kind of matured a little bit here as well. You know, it's like Pandorica, and maybe it was like a bit of a fear in me. I don't know what it was, you know, but maybe it was like, you know, it was my first movie, and I kind of felt like I want to be careful that I don't try and overstretch myself. I knew I didn't have a lot of money, and I was trying to make sure perhaps I didn't put any plot twists in there that perhaps I couldn't land or couldn't stick, you know. Because, you know, when you tell a narrative from 0 to 80 minutes, 85 minutes, it sounds like not a lot, but it's such a hard thing to sustain all the way through. You know, and I'm like, I was maybe a little scared on Pandorica to push narratively the film in some directions that perhaps I would have wanted to go. You know, Redwood was me saying, okay, I think I learned a lot on that last one, so let's craft a story here that's a lot more complicated. You know, there's a lot of there's fewer players in Redwood, but there's a ton more layers going on, and you're not sure whose agenda is what or what's going on where, and that's the thing I'm super proud of.
Especially with your character, Mike.
With Josh, yeah.
Very, very much so.
And again, you know, Tom played a huge part in that. You know, we collaborated, you know, together because, as I've said today many a time, with indie filmmaking, it happens so quickly. You know, Tom being such an integral part of the script initially, you know, we didn't have a huge amount of time to work on the character, so we had to do it on the move. And we took, you know, probably the first day and a half to 2 days to find Josh. And when I say find Josh, I mean just, you know, discover his characters in full, in all his glory.
You've got a balance to find, because like I've got a voice in my head for who Josh is, you know, because that's part of writing, you know, trying to find that voice, and then you have a voice of who you think Josh is, and it's trying to get the two to basically marry each other.
And we, you know, and as I said today in the Q&A, it was a case that you kind of need to collab. You need to get on out of off the camera. Okay, if you don't, as a director and actor, don't really click and have that chemistry off camera, you're not going to see it on camera. And I credit Tom a lot to that, because we're friends off camera. Hopefully that showed on camera. And Josh is, you know, he's a I don't know whether you call him a nice guy. I think he is a nice guy. He's very flawed, you know, and he's been put into these circumstances that, you know, you kind of think to yourself, if I was in that circumstance, would I do the same? And hopefully, you know, we answered a question in his character regarding that. But whether you agree with it or not it's a very
interesting question.
It's hard to talk about the film without talking about it. It's one of these movies. Once you've seen it, it's very hard to go back and not see the ending. So I understand.
Hopefully, I said enough there for you to be interested in what goes on. Afterwards, we were sat at the bar and we were kind of like, so. And we were thinking about certain scenes in the movie. It's like, like, you know how you're saying about the layers and all that? They were there.
It was super important to me. You know, I wanted a character that was complicated in the sense that, you know, like, he's just, they're both a super likeable couple. I wanted you to look at these two people and go, I've had that argument, I've been there, I've talked about that, you know. And also, you know, I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to talk about. You know, the film deals with, you know, a very serious illness in a place, and you know, it's very difficult to talk about a subject matter like that and not make it dull or boring or upsetting. You know, and I wanted to sort of do, you know, and I think I've experienced, you know, that sort of thing in my life, not personally, but to family members, you know, and how we dealt with it was through levity, you know, and trying to sort of like remember, you know, that life's not all doom and gloom. And I really wanted to instill that into the characters, and I think in some respect that almost bled into all the horror scenes as well. You know, every horror scene is almost paid off with like a relief laugh, and then it happened, and then because you laughed, you're like, oh god, he's going to scare me again, you know. And so that was what I was trying to sort of pay the two off against each other. But yeah, I mean, I heard people laughing, so that's good.
It was funny.
There was a few moments. On that, the subject that kind of overbears, obviously we'll not go into it. that scene in the tent with yourself and Tatiana.
Yeah.
That's your show real.
Thank you so much.
I was sat there literally like, shit, this has got real.
When Tom... Sorry, mate. But when Tom... Because as an actor, you know, we're fragile creatures. You know, we do need that little bit of, you know, hello, you know, you've done a good job. And Tom came up to me after we screened it at my brother's, and he was very, very kind and generous. He said seriously, man, that tent scene just gets better every time I see it. And for me, that just knocked me off my feet. I was, you know, because it is an integral part of the film. Me and Tom know that. We know the tent scene when it comes. That's the point which we want to grip the audience. We want that point. I think the audience then decide, okay, we're with these two. All right, we're here, and that's kind of what I wanted from that tent scene. It was, and we knew it when we were filming it. We had a bit of trivia for you. We were filming on base camp, and you wouldn't know it, but. We had so many interruptions on that tent scene. You know, it was a very, as you said there, and been very kind to say it, but there were dogs barking in the distance, there were traffic flying by and stuff, and we had to wait. And Tom was like, "Okay, wait, have they shut up?"
No, we had to between takes, we'd get the crew to be like, "Everybody quiet." We had to turn all the radios off, and you know, we were in total shutdown. You know, turning all the lights off. We wait for it to go completely silent, and then we go do a take, and we just get the take done, and then all the neighbourhood dogs would go ballistic
set the dogs off again, and sort of. So it was a really sort of challenging take or scene for us, me and Tatiana, because we knew that we needed to get it right. We knew that it would be an integral part of the film, and again, like I said, it would be a part that hopefully we got the audience gripped in terms of our relationship.
It was a tricky scene for me to place because, you know, it's kind of the crux of the movie. You know, when I did the Q&A after the film, we spoke about how, you know, my intention was to make a movie where I sort of homaged and paid respect to all the cliches of horror film, but you know, because I adore them. It's not like, you know, and my intention was never to make a film that poked fun at cliche, because I think that cliche is part of every genre, you know, and it's like, if we're honest, like, all filmmakers are remixers. We're watching what we've gone before and we're remixing and remastering it and putting it into and trying to put your spin on it, you know. And I really wanted to tell this film that was like, okay, look, here's all the horror cliches that we're all used to, and I stack them up. And there was always this danger that, you know, at what point do I suddenly switch that tent scene in, which is the game changer for the film, and, you know, without making an audience feel, I've seen this movie before. Yeah. And the intention was, you've seen this movie before, and make you feel comfortable that you'd seen this movie before, and then go, oh, by the way, have some of this. And then you're like, oh, shit, that got real.
Like I say, that whole scene just kind of made me go, oh, fuck.
Yeah, and I see it in, you know, when we've been test screening it, and I saw it even in showing my own family, you know, it's like, those first 20 minutes of the movie, you're engaged with them and they're likeable, and you're seeing the cliches stack in, and you're like, okay, I know what kind of film this is, I know what I'm in for. And then that scene happens, and you know, like, it's what I wanted when we were making it, and I was writing it, and then I was directing it and editing it, and I feel really happy that that's what's happened.
Yeah, me too.
Everybody sort of leans forward. It's like, really? We're going there?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, we're going there. And it changes everything. I think it makes people feel uncertain about, you know, it's like to make somebody feel comfortable about what you're going to give them, and then pull the rug out and say, actually, you're not getting that. You're getting something way, way worse than that. I think is kind of a trick that I admire in certain directors, and I wanted to sort of say, hey, maybe I'm capable of doing that as well. And I think, thank God, your performance and that scene, and Tatiana's scene, is, you know, the way you two played that scene sells the movie, because without that, I think I would have been in trouble.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
But that's the thing. There's a very sort of visceral. There's something in the dark.
Yeah.
Like a less is more. There's something in the dark over there. Something in the dark feeling about the movie.
But again, I mean, we've been dancing around it. I might as well say it. Like, the film has got cancer in it at the end of the day, right? No, it's fine. We're cool. At the end of the day,
it's not. Starburst.
So it's not. You know, we'll put it out there. I mean, that again was part of the idea. You know, it's like it's that thing just out the corner of your eye, or that you feel is following you around, or that's, you know, it's a feeling, and it was almost trying to take the vampires and stack them against cancer, and play the two as, like, you know. Okay, look, you know, cancer's always with you wherever you go. You can feel it following. You know, it's like trying to create the vampires in a sense that you can feel it you can feel them following around, and there's this sense of something awful coming. And I guess that's what it must feel like to get told, hey, you've got cancer. You must feel like this thing's following you around all day and it's coming for
Tom,
you, you know.
You're a massive Buffy fan.
Huge fan.
You know, the season 5 where Joyce has got the tumour.
Incredible. The body. One of the best episodes.
I spoke to Kev about that on the last episode.
Yeah.
But there's the scene where she can't do magic to cure her. And she just needs something to fight.
Yeah. And I think isn't that the point? And again, we really can't go into the spoiler territory here, but there is a scene later on in the film where I really kind of tried to go in that territory, and it's like that this like final showdown with this thing, and you just feeling like maybe I've won, just to have it ripped away from you again, you know. And I think that's, again, I was trying to make the parallels all throughout, but at the same time without doing it in like a lecture-y, boring kind of way. I wanted you to walk out the film and go, I had fun with a film about cancer. That's weird. Why do I feel like I've had a good time?
I don't enjoy that movie.
So, you know,
we're getting that feedback from people, which is wonderful. Is that, you know, a lot of people come up to us and saying, do you know what? I'm not a massive horror fan, but I really enjoyed this film. And the main reason why is because in Tom's writing, he doesn't ram anything down your throat. What he does do is he allows subtlety to happen. And, you know, with something such a big issue as cancer, we don't I feel that we don't overplay it. We don't say, hey, look at this guy, you know, feel sorry for him. We want you to like him, but we don't want you to feel sorry for him. You know, we don't want to ram it down your throat. And then obviously this third element or X element comes into the play, and again, it's not rammed down your throat. So as an audience, we kind of wanted you to be kind of still guessing.
I really wanted you to resonate with Beth's characters as well, though, because again, it's something we never get in. I don't feel he's ever properly explored, apart from Buffy handled it very well, you know. And I tried to go there with Redwood too. It's like cancer isn't just happening to Josh. Yeah, it's happening to Beth too.
Absolutely.
And the whole world is crumbling, and there's nothing she can do about it.
The anger between the two, and I wanted to compliment you very much. On the it's a simple scene. You're collecting wood. And you're trying to saw a branch.
I'm trying to take my frustration out.
Yeah, and I actually did lean to Kev at that point and go, holy shit, that guy can act. That was amazing. That was great.
Well, do you know,
all you were doing was collecting wood.
He's actually got a scar from that scene. Look,
so basically...
also, you DiCaprio'd it.
Well, yeah, I DiCaprio'd it. So basically, Tom... and listen, Tom said to me probably 6 or 7 times, Mike, whatever you do not cut yourself. And I'll go on record and say that. He said this 6 or 7 times to me. So,
and after did he go? He said, "Don't."
He said it. Well, no. What it was I had a blood pack in my hand as well, and when I got into the place where I needed to get into, Tom called action, and it literally was the first take, and I went straight through my finger. Now I carried on because I thought, all I remember is thinking, "Oh, that hurt," and then I carried on because I was in this really quite dark place. Blah 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 blah. Cut. Okay, great. Let's reset. Let's go again. And I held my hand up, and this blood was just dripping off my hand.
I think my words were like, "Oh fuck, he's cut his finger."
And Tom went, "Get him cleaned up, and we'll reset." And I said, "Well, Thomas is actually real blood, mate." And he was like, "What?" And he ran over to me, and I was, "I'm so sorry, mate. It happened immediately as you called action. I cut myself." And then we kept having to replace.
I remember though. I was watching the monitor, and I was like, fucking hell, the makeup's good on this.
Yeah. And
so you were high-fiving the
makeup artist.
But yeah, and then we ended up putting plasters over it every single take after that, and we got what we needed, and then it didn't stop bleeding for about 3.5 hours after. But yeah, it was a tough scene. It was a very.
You're going to apologise to Craig, my VFX guy, for having to paint that out.
Yeah, sorry, Craig.
Paint the plasters.
Craig, you did an amazing job in painting that out. Thank you, buddy. Craig Hine.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's one of those movies. I think, you know, it's going to it will live or die by the ending, and you know, hopefully, I've crafted something rewatchable that you can go back and see again, and you know, like some of my favourite movies, the context shifts once you know the destination. You know, one of my favourite movies is John Carpenter's The Thing, and I think once you know. Spoilers, you should have seen The Thing. It came out in '84. Christ's sake.
Yeah, come on.
You know, sort yourself out.
If you haven't, you should be listening.
Or the remake.
Yeah, don't watch that ever. I think, you know, it's like once you know where he's going to end up sitting out, you're going to get this sort of beautiful non-ending. It changes the film. So I think that's hopefully what we achieved here as well. So
one of the things I did want to say, and I said it to Chris as we were walking out. You've got an uncanny ability of picking your lead female as well. I don't recognise Tatiana.
She's Italian and Irish. She's in You know, it's funny. We bizarrely, you know, on Pandora, we didn't. I throw my hands up. No one wanted to work with me. I was a first-time feature film director. It was very, very difficult to get people to come and be in the film. But that film, I think, shows potential and like, okay, maybe this guy can do something. So on this particular movie, casting was sort of blown wide open, and there were some names that came in for that part. I was like, holy shit, she wants to be in the film, really? You know, and they were willing to go through the audition process, like sending casting tapes, etc. And as a random curveball, this girl Tatiana Nardone was thrown in. Her audition tape was just, I was like, she's the one. And there's a lot of back and forward in about, you know, the other people carrying more weight and more name, and it was a really hard battle to win, to put her in the film. And
she smashed it, didn't she?
Yeah, you know,
she's great.
She's in Medici, which is on Netflix right now with Dustin Hoffman, and so I kind of felt, all right, she's not a huge name now, but I strongly suspect she will be. You know, and I'm so glad we picked her, because there's something about that character. You know, she's not your stereotype. You know, in some respects, she embodies what you expect from a stereotypical horror girl. She's got all the assets, shall I say? But then, on the same time, there's this, there's like sort of strained, weary look to her as well. She, you know, there's a depth to just the way she looks on camera. And yeah, I really think she nails it. And then when you put her against somebody who's as likeable and charismatic on screen as Mike comes across, the two of them, you know, you almost feel for Beth a lot more, because you're looking at her and you're thinking, you've got it really tough right now, and you know, but at no point do you feel like the two of them are doing this to each other. Someone else has done it to them. And yeah, she embodies that and brings it to her, and I feel really, really lucky that we got her in the film. I really do. So, thank you.
But I mean, you two were great together, you know.
Yeah,
me and Mike. I know. Honestly. I mean, to be honest with you, I've told him he needs to get down the gym a bit more often.
Thank you,
but
cut my hair.
We're making it work.
We're kicking back. The old. Yeah, we you know, Tatiana was fantastic to work with. She was great, and yeah, we needed that. You know, when you see it through a lens, you know, again, this is where Tom comes in. You know, we knew we were getting what we needed, but it was a collaboration, and like I said to you, you know, some of those emotional scenes that you see in the movie that Tatiana performs, you know, it was great to be part of it, because you could see that she was fully committed and she was just smashing out of the park. And we really hope that when you watch the movie you can relate to us as a couple. And yeah, I think I can't say enough about how good a job she did. She did fantastic. You know,
but there was a feeling, very much a feeling of her character. I'm not breaking.
Yeah.
If I break, that's it.
Yeah, and that's a real important through line for the film, you know, and she does eventually, you know, because again, I don't think anybody ever really talks about that. It's very hard to be the other person in an illness situation, you know, and it's not happening to you.
The other person has to be strong, sort of.
You know, I mean, your world's falling apart, and you feel like, okay, I'm struggling just to get out of bed today, but I have to, and not only that, I have to put on the bravest face ever for this person that I love, and make them feel like, don't worry, I've got it for you, but actually I'm panicking and I'm freaking out, and it's a very sort of taboo subject. It's real, and I hope that, I feel like I saw that today, actually. You know, it's the first time I saw the film with that many people, and I felt like I saw 1,300 people or whatever that was engage in a way that felt like, you know what, maybe this hasn't happened to me, but I've seen it happen to my mom or to my auntie or to a friend, and that's all I really wanted from it, you know. And it's a sad subject matter, but I don't think it needed to be a sad film, and it isn't.
It's not.
You know, so, you know, but I just hope that people can resonate and connect with them, and that's why I love science fiction. I love it because you can engage with these kinds of things from an entertainment perspective. It's like, if I took the vampires out of this film, it's not going to be a whole lot of fun, is it? You put the vampires in, and you can have a good Friday night with Redwood, or you can have a deep and meaningful film. You know, maybe from. Do you know what? I do know this, and I hope you don't mind. There's a friend of mine. He's worked on the movie. He's dealing with a similar situation right now. His mum's not very well with cancer, and he's found comfort in this movie. You know, he's found it like cathartic to some respect. That he doesn't. Somebody else understood it and wrote it down, and you know, maybe not so much where we head with it, but you know, it's. I hope people can find that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that doesn't get much bigger than that.
Well, I know you're a massive vampire fan, though, right? So I've definitely done something different with vampires. So how did you feel about that? Did I offend you as a vampire fan? Or?
I liked in the Q&A you kind of said that you sort of Neil Marshalled it a little bit with the descent, and there was certain moments in the movie I'm sitting there thinking, this is like the way you build the tension and then you just ramp it.
Yeah,
it was tense as hell.
Thank you.
I actually said to Kev before we went in to the screening, I hope that they're not all going all. You know what I mean?
I purposely didn't do any shaking
because I said to Kev, you know, that would be a very, very easy trap to fall into with you being a Buffy fan. Is you're just going about slaying
fantasia
all over the place.
Well,
and I think as an actor, like
just one second.
when I
isn't that the best Buffy you've ever seen?
Yes. When I
sold.
Are
you her agent?
No, she's done a costume change about 10 times so far.
Yeah, mate.
I know.
It's
fair play.
Committed.
Got up on stage as well, so
amazing.
Sorry.
She's out on patrol. That's what's great.
Yeah, literally, we are safe right now.
Sorry about that.
But,
I just saw you looking and I thought I had to.
You just had to, didn't
it was like on cue, wasn't it? It was like, there we go. But no, I think from my perspective, when I read the script, there was Tom, like, you know, mentions obviously the cliches in the film that he's written in, you know, purposely. But there's also cliches in the movie that Tom very cleverly missed out. You know, the gratuitous sex scenes and stuff that you normally find in a horror movie,
which I was waiting for.
Which you were waiting for, and it didn't come. But it didn't.
It's like, oh yeah, show me the good stuff.
Yeah, and we kind of wanted to avoid that because it's been done, and it doesn't necessarily take any of the story forward.
This is a subversion, isn't it? It's like where you would normally put the girl in the pool, I put the guy in the pool, and you know, and try and flip it around and subvert those things. You know, one of the things that I was very, very proud of about Pandorica is it got quite a lot of support from the female community. A lot of people felt, you know, they resonated with Erin, and they liked that I didn't write Erin like a you know, because I think a mistake a lot of writers make when they write females is they think, oh, I'm going to write a strong female, so I'll write a bloke and then just make her a female. But if you look at strong females in science fiction, like Ripley or Starbuck from Battlestar, you know, they are complex women, and that's what makes them so badass. You know, and I wanted to maintain that in that sort of support into Redwood. So I was like, okay, I'm going to make a horror film that isn't for teenage boys. You know, it's for everybody. You know, it's for couples. It's you know, so pretty grown up. I wanted to make a grown up movie. So you know. Yeah,
you know, you're not Pixar over here. So.
Oh, mate, if Pixar's listening though, like, don't listen to these guys, please. I'm available
bigger paycheck
from now.
Redwood but animated. So what's this has been the big premiere and all that, and what's coming next for the both of you guys? Like,
okay, well, you know what, I feel like, you know, we announced it today, so the sort of word will be out. I'm making a new movie called Black Site, and this time because I feel that, you know, I hit such a level of potential between the pairing of me and Mike. You know, I've now specifically written a part for Mike in Black Site.
It's the biggest compliment you could ever ask for a director to actually have you in mind when he's writing a part.
It's funny because I'm writing the character.
Let alone it be Tom Paton, you know. It's a huge compliment.
Look, I mean, yeah. So the film's called Black Site, and it's Lovecraft writes The Raid, and it sounds like the most bonkers explanation ever, but I think I'm going to pull it off.
Massive
fan.
You know, so
I'll be honest.
Yeah, and I'm a massive. This is it. I love the Cthulhu mythos. I love all the stuff that, you know, that cosmic horror. You know, the idea that, you know, horror. There's some horror out there that's so unfathomable, just sends you batshit crazy if you looked at it. I love that stuff, and I think to couple that with another genre that I love, which is like, I love the action genre. I love what you can do with action. I love how you can use fight scenes and choreography to take a character from A to B, like, you know, like, I mean, the touch point is obviously, you look at The Raid or you look at films like Die Hard, you know, like action is used to progress a character's emotions, and I think that's what I want to do next, except for I'm fucked up, so let's do it with cosmic horror as well. So you know,
you're not pinning yourself to any one genre.
No, hell no, man. I think the thing is, you know, like, for me, and this is just my personal opinion, and you know, I kind of said it to a few people that were like, you know, I guess fans. It's a bit weird to say, but that's what.
I think you've got fans.
Yeah, you know, like, it feels strange saying that, but like, you know, they were asking me about Pandorica and Redwood and what I was doing next, and I kind of feel, you know, it's like with Pandorica I showed who I could be as a director, you know, potentially one day what I could do, you know, and then on Redwood I sort of focused a bit, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to show everybody I could do mature horror correctly. You know, now I feel like, okay, I want to refocus again and show people, hey, I could do mature action correctly. But also, there's the sort of the gloves are off a little bit on this next movie. to use like a Pinocchio analogy, I have no strings this time. I'm literally in charge of the production, so I'm gonna go fucking bananas and do whatever I feel like, to be honest. So yeah.
So are you playing was it Iko Ue's character?
I don't know. I won't say too much. All I will say is that I've read the treatment that Tom sent me, and it is going to be unreal. And
he's going to be Buffy Mike, basically.
The thing is, me and Tom, like the one thing that we kind of connected on was that we will never settle. We will constantly try and outdo what we've done previously. And already, yes, we are so appreciative of how Redwood has gone, in this sci-fi weekend. But we're already thinking now of Black Site. And like I said, I've read the treatment, and it is ridiculous. It's a completely new character for me, and Tom knows that, and knows that my objective. My objective as an actor, I look up to Ryan Gosling, for example, because his role choices are across the spectrum.
You find him attractive as well.
No, he's a good-looking boy.
Come on, let's be honest. We all find Ryan Gosling attractive.
You'd all fanboy Ryan Gosling, right? But Tom gets it, and he will constantly test me as an actor, and I love that. And I've seen the treatment, like I say, for Black Site, and he's already, totally on my wavelength. And we're going to bring a different character to your screen that you saw in Redwood already, and I'm excited to.
We're going to do something pretty special.
Yeah, we're going to do something a bit nuts.
One of the things I've loved about the process of Pandoric and Redwood is I'm so obsessed with film scores. I love the music side of things, And one of the things I'm doing on Black Site is I've really started writing music, and I got this whole bonkers plan that I'm still trying to work the logistics out on, but if I pull it off, it will be as unique in the score as what I'm going to try and do visually. And the two on this film are going to be so integrally tied to one another. Hopefully, we do like this whole contemporary spin on the sort of John Carpenter Stranger Things style soundtrack, and add it. Hopefully, I'm going to give you something else.
Don't say anymore. Don't say anymore.
We're sold it.
Will you come back on 365 and talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, it's a nice way to finish the chat, I guess. When we're shooting, I'd love you guys to come down to set.
Come say hello.
Honestly, that'd be amazing.
No spoilers, obviously. You come down and you hang out and talk to people and stuff. It'd be cool. So,
that would be unreal.
Yeah, I don't know about Chris. I trust the other one.
Yeah.
Kevin seems alright.
As I was saying before, he's just the talent.
Right.
Well, cool.
Before we finish, actually,
yeah, absolutely.
We saw a trailer before the movie started for your new movie, Mike.
Right.
Is it Arcadia?
Arcadia State, yeah.
Arcadia State.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's pretty dark, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's pretty.
That's
pretty messed up.
Can you tell us anything about the movie?
I can't say too much about it right now.
Nothing.
We've got the publicist here. Is like absolutely say nothing.
All I can.
looked at Tom and
my publicist is doing the cutthroat thing. We're going to wrap this up.
From the teaser trailer, anyway, the teaser trailer that we saw today. Shit, it looks great.
Yeah, it's a very dark movie.
Creepy as hell.
It's a very, very dark movie, and it's just. So the weather was nice. We're
very much looking forward to that. Again, congratulations, guys.
Thanks for having us on, guys. We really appreciate it.
That was the best way for us to finish the weekend. Cheers, man. Thank you very much, guys.
Pleasure partying with Pat Sharp.
I'm going to meet Pat Sharp at 9:30.
You're actually meeting him.
Crisis for the geek kind. Top geek officials admit they underestimated the hipsters' defense capability. Join the geek revolution and save the galaxy. Geeks from all over the globe are joining up to fight for the future. They're doing their part. Are you? Want to know more? Join Weeby Geeks and the Geek Revolution and save the world. Service guarantees citizenship. Listen to Weeby Geeks podcast on iTunes and Stitcher or online at weebygeeks.net. Weeby Geeks, your voice for the Geek Revolution. Want to know more?
We also got to see something else exclusively before Redwood.
That's right, we did.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah,
so
we got a couple of trailers
to see the trailer for Dark Beacon.
Dark Beacon.
Damn, it looked good.
It did look great. It looked fantastic, and
I think we both actually messaged Cos separately.
Yeah,
to say that.
Yeah, we wouldn't do it together.
Oh no.
I mean, I did it while the trailer was kind of just finished and Redwood was about to start because you were getting pissy because I was on my phone. But I kind of did it there and I was like, yeah, awesome trailer, mate. Fucking get in. Just letting them know that everybody enjoyed
is that what
it.
you were doing, is it?
you got to let these people know that everybody's enjoying the trailer and that. But we did get the trailer for Dark Beacon, which is Cos. We had Cos on a few episodes back, a few indie talks back. He came on to talk to us about Dark Beacon and Wandering Rose, and aka Demon Baby, aka
fuck knows, yep.
little devil girl from Taiwan, all that kind of thing. But yeah, we saw the Dark Beacon trailer. That looks fantastic. Cannot wait to see that.
Yes. Yep.
That is going officially live tomorrow, which will be Thursday. This will come out on Friday, so yesterday.
Timey-wimey.
Yeah, we're all about the timey-wimey. That looks fantastic. Can't wait to see that. But yeah, thanks again to Mike and Tom for sitting down with us.
It was great. It was really good.
But Saturday. So we had that awesomeness in the morning. And as we mentioned earlier about the phone signal and the Wi-Fi and Claire's messages sometimes not getting through, we missed the opportunity to speak to Arnold Rimmer.
We did.
Mr. Britass himself.
You know, it's a signal. It's just one of those things.
It was, and I did beat myself up a little bit,
yes,
as you probably are aware.
Because I think I threatened to slap you at one point.
Couple of times. I really wanted to speak to Chris Barry, but we did see his talk, and he did a very good talk, so that was kind of all right. But that night.
Well, first up, before we get there, that night, we have to give props to a show called The Dark Room.
Yeah, man, shit.
So this is an adults only, you have to say, text adventure.
Awesome.
So basically the guy, I think John, I want to say Robertson,
look him up on Twitter as Robotron.
He also has a YouTube channel as well.
Yeah.
So this is a text adventure hosted by John.
Live action text
yes,
adventure.
Exactly. So he picks someone from the audience, gets them to make a sort of one of four choices. Just an old school text adventure. Yeah, that's what it says on the tin. But John is fucking amazing.
He's hilarious. What I will say is, if you do go and check out the YouTube, and I think you should, I think everybody should check out the YouTube, see what this guy's all about. It doesn't necessarily translate as well via video as it does live, because we walked into it. We walked in, I think he'd already had one player by that point, and we walked in and we were like, what the fuck is this? Like, what the hell have we just walked into? And within about 5 seconds, it was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. This guy's so funny. This game is so amazing. Everybody in the crowd was fully getting involved with it. It's just fantastic. So yeah, I completely forgot we were going to talk about that.
That was just great.
So yeah, look for Dark Room on the YouTube. John Robertson, Robotron on the Twitter. This guy's hilarious.
Yeah. But he also does a lot of these types, like the SFW type events. I've noticed from his Facebook page, because fuck Twitter. But so if you happen to follow him on the Facebooks, and if you happen to be at a holiday centre or whatever where he's doing a show, go and see him.
Oh, it's worth the price of admission alone. It was brilliant. But
after that,
what did we get to do?
So Claire had.
Bless her.
Because of the all the shitty signal and all that, we didn't get to meet Chris Barry. So when we first went in to meet Claire and get our cheeky media lanyards on Thursday, we mentioned to her that we would quite like the opportunity, not necessarily to interview, just to shake the guy's hand and get a cheeky photo. Pat Sharp.
Yeah,
we've mentioned a lot.
Shake the hand of the man with the mullet.
Exactly.
That was pretty much our dream for the weekend.
So we got into the main void where we were watching the Dark Room.
Yep.
And we were told at that point, because of all the pissy signal stuff in the afternoon, Claire had awesomely sorted it for us to go and get a photo taken.
Shake his hand, man,
with Pat Sharp. And so we did.
Of course we did.
We fucking did.
Yeah, but
we were taken backstage.
Yep.
Thinking, Pat will be back there. It'll be fine.
Yeah. You'll come and talk to us. We're 365.
No, that is not what happened at all, was it?
No, not at all. We got backstage and the guy said, so in a minute or so, when Pat flicks the track and starts playing the next song, you will be going out on stage, and I'm sure he said that we would have a little bit of a dance and stuff. and shake the hand of Pat Sharp and say hello. And we were like, no, that's not happening. We were kind of just like, yeah, okay, not happening. He can come to us, or we will happily wait here for 2 hours till he's finished and comes off stage and speaks to us. And he was like, no, it's all right. Pat gets lonely when he's out there on the decks. Just go out and see him. And the next thing you knew, we were walking out on stage in front of all the dancing cosplayers on the dance floor and everybody else in the room.
Probably, a good couple of thousand people?
Yep. And shook his hand, got some selfies, told him he was a fucking legend, and walked off.
We didn't boogie, though.
We didn't boogie, no.
We do not boogie.
That's not our cup of tea.
No.
I mean, had I had a few more drinks, I might have boogied.
It would take a lot more drink.
But yeah, that was...
I would just have done single ladies. That's the only... That's all I know.
That was probably one of the most surrealist moments I've had in a while.
We both kind of got off stage and went, that happened.
We've done some pretty cool things since we started this podcast, and that was just surreal as fuck. And yeah, that happened.
It was good though.
It was. Like, before we went out, I'm sort of like, I'm flicking between the video on my phone and the camera on my phone. Like, do I get a picture? Do I do a video? What do I do? I was like, oh, fuck it, selfie, ping.
And you made an arse of it, didn't you?
I did a little bit. Mine didn't come out very well, but yours did, so that's all.
It was my profile picture on the Facebooks. Yep. But then The Undertaker retired, so...
Oh,
I know, it's upsetting.
I know.
I did shed a tear, I won't lie to you.
What, about The Undertaker?
Yes.
I didn't. But yeah, there was a couple of... I mean, Sci-Fi Weekender, for those, like, when you go to a convention, we're used to your typical convention where it's like a 1-day event sort of thing or a 2-day event. This is like a full 4-day weekend. You stay on site. So there's all manner of things going on. Just like panels, talks, game shows. We sat and watched Yeegy and Fraser and
that was Daphne funny as hell, yeah.
playing like a Doctor Who quiz show. That was pretty sweet. I enjoyed that. But we also we had set up to talk to a couple of lads, and I'm going to give them a shout out because I really wanted to talk to them after I watched this. But the dudes did pop-up cinema. Was it pop-up cinema theatre?
Pop-up puppet cinema?
Pop-up puppet cinema.
Pop-up.
Jesus. I'm off the drink, you know that. So yeah, pop-up puppet cinema.
Yes. Just go with that.
Basically, they had the little stand, and they came out and they done Punch and Judy, but Back to the Future. Little half an hour to 40 minutes, sort of condensing all the best parts of Back to the Future into that time. And they also did Indiana Jones, the Raiders of the Lost Ark later. It was bloody brilliant.
Wasn't it?
I thoroughly enjoyed this. Really good lads. Just brilliant show. And we have already preliminary talk. They're going to be coming on.
I think they should. They should. It was another case of the bloody signal aids.
Yeah.
It just one of those things, man.
I know, but the thing was, everybody was having it, which...
Oh, yeah, I mean, it wasn't...
Which made me feel better about the whole thing, because it was like, yeah, I've been trying to get you all day, however, I couldn't even get a text message through you. A text message, for fuck's sake. Mm-hmm. I couldn't even get a text message through.
I know.
But you know what, man? It was fantastic. I mean, what a weekend. I wanted to give them a shout-out. Wanted to give Mark another little shout-out with the salvaged post-apocalyptic wear.
Yeah, you did well. You did very well.
What?
For him.
Yeah, he did do well.
Keep on going.
I thought I was going to say, thank you very much. But he did do well. The thing cut out on him like 3 times, 4 times, but he just kept going. And then I'm going to be doing like a little thing on the website, a little write-up, a little sort of blog on our website about the weekend. I've got some videos on my phone. You've got a couple of videos I'm going to get off you. I'm going to throw them on the YouTube. I'm going to throw them into the article. You have got to watch this video when I put it on the website.
Okay, another one you're going to mention.
Experimental sonic sound machine.
Yeah.
This
how do you even explain it?
Wow.
It's the most trippy shit I've ever seen, but I couldn't stop watching it.
You could not stop watching this thing. So it was fantastic.
It was basically, it was a guy with like a synthesizer.
Yeah.
And a tinfoil Anubis, was it?
Yes, pretty much.
Yep. That was hooked up to drums.
Yep.
and he was dressed as Skeletor from Masters of the Universe.
Yep.
Like the God Skeletor, not the Hood Skeletor. And he was just making farmyard noises to music, and
I think at first we were kind of like, what?
Yeah.
And then
I think everybody was.
But it was fantastic.
But there was a massive long, what do you call it?
Conga line, yeah.
Conga line, that's the one. Going round, because it was like...
I think it was like, what else do you do?
But the first song that he did had like a beat, like a... I'm not exaggerating, I'm not making that up. That is on the... I've got a video of that.
Yeah, we'll be posting some of these videos up. This shit has...
You will hear Kev and I pissing ourselves laughing.
You've got
to
see it.
It's not just us, we weren't bullying him.
No.
Everybody was doing it, and he was having a fucking awesome time.
Oh, he was loving it. He was fully fun. And like halfway through, like, it came at the end of each song, and he went, transformation, and he went off stage, and then he came back on in a different attire and started playing a different song, and it just kept going and going.
Yep.
And
I didn't want it to stop.
It was brilliant, man. I even the pop-up theatre guys, I even sent them a message on the Facebook basically saying, all right lads, how do you follow that? Like, what do you do to follow this? And even they were like, yeah, that was pretty special. Like, it was pretty amazing. So I just wanted to give that a shout out as well. They also had like a retro gaming corner set up in the main void, so you could play all the old retro games. I mean, they had shit ton of things going. There. We can't really go on about everything because they just had a shit ton.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, you would go to one of these things, and we wholeheartedly encourage you to go to SFW8 next year.
Yeah,
9.
Yeah, this was 8.
Okay, backwards. SFW9.
Yep.
Next year, I imagine it'll be in the same place probably.
But I think it is, yeah.
Yeah.
But they even have if you don't want to wait till then, they have an event in Sheffield. They have a Sci-Fi Weekender in the city, which is coming in September.
That's right.
Yeah, which is in Sheffield. So I'm assuming it'll be sort of the same sort of vibe, the same sort of things going on.
Yeah,
and if it's half as good as it, hopefully the dark room guy will be there. Because if he is, I'm most definitely going. Because I want to see the dark room again.
Well, it's like, 5 days after we get back from America?
Yeah, that's...
So, but if the dark room guy's there, we're going.
We are,
yeah, right,
definitely.
Okay.
You wake up in a dark room.
Or the dark room guy and the...
And the experimental sound machine. I'm totally up for that shit. That guy was awesome.
I think he would do an intro music for us.
Oh, man, don't tease me. do not tease me. Before we go, though, we are going to wrap it up because this is an indie talk and we like to keep it to an hour in length. Before we go, I just want to say a massive, massive well done to the Weekender guys, everybody who set this up. It's a fantastic event. It's the first time we've been, and it is amazing. They put on a fantastic show.
It was a great experience. It really was.
All the different panels, all the different guests, everything was fantastic. But as well, I want to say a huge, huge congratulations to all of the cosplay. Because, my God, the cosplay there was fantastic.
Oh, they were going for it. No Spider-Man, but they were going for it.
There
was an awesome Michael Keaton Batman.
There was.
But yeah, they had a cosplay competition, which Kevin and I checked out. And yeah, there was some fucking badass.
And it's like...
costumes.
When we go to some of the other events that we go to, like, the cosplay is usually good. It is usually good. But this was a fucking cut above.
I think that the next time we go, because we will be back, we should cosplay.
We should cosplay. What should I cosplay as?
Well,
I was pretty much leading you down this path.
Yeah, right. So yeah, Kev was told on 2 separate occasions over the weekend that he should cosplay as Star-Lord.
Yeah.
First time it was a woman who was dressed as a vampire.
She was after a hole.
She was probably after a hole. Yeah.
She was.
Who said, I've just told my mate, like, that guy really looks like Chris Pratt. And I thought, fucking, come on.
Cheers. Thank you.
And then I think it was the next again day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A guy came over and he took a selfie with you.
Yeah, he was taking selfies of people in there. He says, be a selfie with Star-Lord. And I was kind of like, oh, come on. Thank you. And my face did pretty much just go, wow.
You went all bright. Backfired, didn't it?
But yeah, man, I mean, the cosplay there was fantastic. The cosplay competition was amazing.
So, you know, if you do some cheeky Star-Lord cosplay next year, you could be winning that competition, my friend.
Yeah, man. I will definitely win that.
There you go. Need to work on your abs, though.
I'm pretty much getting there with the abs. Yeah, just need to lose a couple of my kegs. Kegs, not pants. Beer kegs.
That's not what you want to say. How many pairs of pants are you wearing?
I don't know. As many as possible.
Okay.
But the thing about the cosplay there was that you could literally tell that most of the people who were cosplaying, they'd been working on their outfit like all year round. And we're part of the forum on the Facebook, the closed group for the Sci-Fi Weekend at 8. It's now officially been changed to 9. You know, they didn't waste any time there.
They did not.
But there's people already on there getting their cosplays ready for next year's event. That's what I mean. Yeah. It's just a cut above.
It is, and also a shout out to Trumpet Pool.
Yep.
Or Tuba Pool.
Tuba Pool, as you now call him.
But he was class.
He was cool. You were going about that tuba the whole fucking weekend. I couldn't do that shit. And he did.
It looked like a fucking heavy bastard. Like.
And then on the last night, when Pat Sharp was DJing, our new friend Pat Sharp was DJing, he was on the dance floor with the tuba.
Oh, man, yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? Put it down, it's mental. But we're going to end it there. That was Sci-Fi Weekender. This is episode 70. It's been a fantastic episode just to relive the weekend, really. We came back, and on Monday and Tuesday I've just been, I don't know, it was a massive come down, really.
Yeah, it took me, I'm only just starting to feel normal again today. Just Monday, I could hardly keep my eyes open. And then I watched WrestleMania, and then The Undertaker retired, and I was like...
Well, if you had watched Walking Dead season finale, you would have been crying even more. Because, my God,
we won't talk about that.
No, we won't.
Get yourself upset again.
I'll get upset, I'll get angry, and I'll start shouting, so I'm not going to do it. So, again, thanks to the guys at Sci-Fi Weekender. Thanks to Tom and Mike for coming on and doing this awesome interview. Thanks to the other guys that we spoke to. We will be playing that in a future episode. That'll be part 2 of the SFW8. And we've got much more coming.
And also, I met Nicholas Brendan.
Did you?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
At some point over the weekend, I can't remember.
All right. Yeah. I think you're making that up. With that, goodbye.